Carla from the Learn English by Speaking English show, and I am here to speak with you in English. And like always, I want to remind you that we are here to have some fun. Mistakes are allowed. That's part of learning. And if you're not willing to make a mistake, you'll never learn. You'll be kept where you are. The more mistakes you make, the more you learn. We are a little late because of some technical difficulties that have been corrected. Don, please. Thank you. You just corrected that. I see Shabazz is back now, and I'm glad to see that. Anyway, let's move on and get this show rolling. Today, I have two lovely co-hosts. I have Lee Weissman, who's going to tell us stories in a few moments, and Huang, who I don't think knows how to miss a show, even if I wanted her to miss a show. I wanted to give her a break, and I got Lee, and here she is, and I'm so glad to see her. Remember the simple rules of the program. One, you must, if you're a man, you must have your camera on. If you're a lady, it is a little questionable, but for the men, it needs to be on. And for the ladies, I appreciate it being on because I can see you, you can see me, and we can have a better understanding of each other. Number two, when you are here, I'm going to add a rule. Make sure that you are using your Facebook name, because that way, if someone wants to connect with you later, they can just click on that name, find your Facebook contact, and send you a friend request. So please keep your Facebook name on. Number two, about the camera, remember, and if you need to change your name, let me know. I can help you, or Shabazz can help you change your name. Put it in the chat. Number two, please keep your mic off until we ask you to speak. When that happens, wonderful, open up your mic. But we need one person speaking at a time. Number three, very simple. Everyone is dressed appropriately. Make sure you have a nice top on. Do not come in underwear, and do not come undressed. You are representing your country, and we want you looking the part. And number four, unless you are really sick and your doctor doesn't want you sitting up, you must be sitting up straight in a classroom, because this is your classroom. And Lee has been doing all kinds of hand motions, telling everyone what they should be doing. Anyway, having said that, please remember, share out the program to your friends, family, and friends to be. And please, please, please have a good time, smile, laugh. And if you're afraid of making a mistake, forget that. That's why you're here. You're coming to learn to speak. And you learn to speak when you make mistakes. You don't do anything by doing it properly or perfectly the first time. You do it by making mistakes. And those mistakes are the steps to success. And we lost Huang. She may be sharing out because I see her behind the scenes. I just don't see the lovely Vietnam face. Okay, Lee.
Yes, I was sharing out.
Thank you so very, very, very much. Can you introduce yourself and maybe tell a wonderful, wonderful story? Doesn't matter if you're telling it again because the people here um, may not know you. So you're telling a whole new story.
Okay, well, first of all, to introduce myself, hi. I'm Lee Weissman. I live here in Washington, D.C., just outside of Washington, D.C., not too far from Carla. And I'm very happy to be here. I like to tell stories and other sorts of stuff. I've been a teacher for about 25 years, and at the moment I'm kind of in between things, deciding what to do with my life in my second adolescence. So if any of you know what I should do with my life, please tell me, and maybe I can get inspiration from you.
You know what, Lee? We can
Yes.
maybe speak about that as the topic. What should we be doing with our lives?
No, what should I be doing with my life?
No, Lee,
Everybody. Okay.
they don't know you. So how can they tell you? How can I tell you what to do with your life? I barely know you.
True, true, true. Well, I'm a mystery. So, so that's me. And Carla wanted me to tell a story, so I can tell a story. Um, I heard a story today that was actually quite beautiful. Um, and the story was about a wealthy man who was very cheap. And he was, he had a lot of money, and he had a beautiful home, and he had everything that he could possibly need, but he never gave to anybody. And there was a rabbi, a religious leader in the community, and he would come to him every single week, and he would ask him for money. And the man was very polite. He was a nice man, even though he was very cheap. And he would invite the rabbi in, and he would give him a nice glass of tea, and he would talk to him and tell him about his business. And the rabbi would say, I'm here actually to collect because of poor people, and they're really struggling and they're suffering, and it's cold out. We provide them with clothes and heat. And the man would say, it's not so bad. We don't have to really worry about them. It's not so, they'll take care of themselves. Don't worry. And the rabbi would say, really, if you could just help out a little bit. He says, no, I'm sorry. I don't have anything. I can't help you. So this went on week after week after week after week. And every time he invited the rabbi in, and they sat by the fire, and he gave him. And one time the rabbi came to the man's house, and he came in the middle of the night, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, knocked on the door, banged on the door. And the man opened the door, and he said, Rabbi, can I help you? And the rabbi said, I'm here to collect money. And he said, please come in, Rabbi. He said, no, I'd rather not. I'll stand out here. And so the man was very polite, and he didn't want to leave the rabbi alone. So he stood outside too. And of course, he's standing there in his pajamas, and he's getting colder and colder and colder. It's freezing. It's freezing out. And he's colder, and and it's in the middle of the night, and he's getting a little hungry. And now he's getting a little bit thirsty, but he can't tell the rabbi that, doesn't know what to do. And finally, in the middle of all this, suddenly his eyes light up, and he turns to the rabbi and he says, now I understand. He said, I'm cold, and I'm hungry, and I'm thirsty, and it's only been a half an hour. And says, surely for those poor people you keep talking about, it's hours and hours and days and days and days and days that they have to suffer through this. Now I understand. And I love this story because a lot of times, we don't understand what other people go through until, for whatever reason, we have to go through it ourselves. So often, we hear about other people's problems, and they sound very remote to us. They sound very far away until that moment when we actually have that experience too. And it's like, okay, So now it's us. And really what we can do is we can try to put ourselves into the positions of other people and to be able to kind of imagine their situation. Even if we can't be in their situation, at least we can do our very best to try to understand it, from the inside, um, from the inside out. So that's my story, Carla.
Well, I need you to talk a little longer,
Talk a little.
but can you please talk to Huang about the story and see how she feels about it and what she would like to add? Because she does come from a different situation than we come from, and she may have another insight to the story.
Okay, what do you think of the story?
Hello. So, yes, my name is Huong. I'm from Vietnam. Yes. I'm living and working away from home. It's about 100 kilometers away from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. I have been teaching here for more than 17 years with more than 10,000 students from different countries and different provinces in Vietnam. I have been teaching marketing, economics, and international business. Yeah, so I got PhD in 2015, and luckily in 2018, I got a Fulbright scholarship from the Indian government to study about international trade, international business in New Delhi, the capital of India, for 13 months. Yeah, so that's my lucky opportunities. Yep, to study and to go abroad without any single penny. That's I have gained a lot of good things from life. Yes, thank you so much. And getting back to the question, the story, that's very interesting story as well. I like it. Like you are saying that how to put ourselves in other shoes and how to sympathize and understand other people, especially the poor and the people disabled and people they have less advantages than us, right? So that's why we should have the same emotion to help people to create a better place to this world as well. So yeah, I am very happy to hear those stories.
Yeah, it's interesting. You talked about New Delhi. You said you studied in New Delhi. In many places in the world, that's a very good example. People can live very different lives very close to each other. There are people who live, very wealthy, beautiful, lives in New Delhi, and there are people who live, very poor and very and struggling lives in New Delhi too. And it's like that, of course, probably most places in the world, and we don't always get to we always don't get to understand or to see how other people live and what they experience, but also even emotionally, and uh, people undergo all sorts of challenges and things that we may or may not understand. um, where is everybody from? Okay, so I know you're from Vietnam.
One person at a time.
One
So
person.
we'll go on. Dom is the first person who came, and we'll speak with him. And he needs to introduce himself firstly.
Oh, Dom, nice to meet you. Please introduce yourself.
Hello everyone. Hello Carla. Hello Liz. I'm, my name is Dam. I come from Vietnam. Now I'm living and working as south of Vietnam. I'm 32 years old, and I'm working on Vietnam television. I'm happy to join the Carla meeting. Thank you.
Very good. Very nice. Very nice.
Yes.
Very nice to meet you.
Yes.
And let's see who else we have in the room. At least we'll get to know each other a little bit. who was
Can you have a discussion with him? Ask him what he did today.
Carla. This is, yeah, I feel like this is, I feel free to.
Okay, do what you want to do.
No, I'm just I'm just happy to be here at your service.
I'm sorry, Lee. I thought you haven't been here for a while, so you forgot how I run the show. We talk one person at a time and then move on to the next person.
Okay, very good.
I'm sorry, Lee. I'm sorry if I'm making you uncomfortable.
No, just you know. So in any case, Dan, nice, pleasure to meet you. Have you been to this show before?
Yes.
This is that you've been to this show before?
Yes, I enjoyed the show before. I think about five times before.
Very good. And what makes you
Yes.
interested? What made you decide to want to practice your English?
Okay, can you repeat the question?
Yes. What made you decide to practice your English? Why did you want to participate in this?
Okay. I want to practice English because I want to improve my knowledge because I find the knowledge in the world by English language, and I want to talk to foreign people, and I want to travel around the world, and I want to change my job because I want to the high salary.
Mhm.
Yes.
In Vietnam, are there opportunities to speak English in Vietnam?
No, because Vietnam, I think, don't environment for speak English, because when I work or I stay home, I don't speak English. That's the reason I want to try to meeting the Carla meeting to practice English.
So this is a very good opportunity to be able to speak to people from all over the world and
Yes.
to practice. Reasonable. Okay, pleasure to meet you.
Yes, thank you.
So, Ms. Carla, should we introduce ourselves to others, or how should we do
Why
this?
don't you have more of a discussion with him so he gets at least 5 minutes of talking?
Why don't you join in? We miss you.
Because I need to share this out. I am joining in. I'm doing what I can. Dom, can you please tell us what you've been doing today?
Yes, okay. Thank you, Carla. And today I get up 5:30 a.m. I go to learn English for new vocabulary, and after that I go to work, and I off work at the 5 p.m. and after that then I go to the birthday party with my neighborhood. That's a party of children. She is 6 years old for birthday, and after that I go to the meeting English for Dr. Hương meeting. I practice English with participate in the world, and I off the meeting about 10 p.m. and now I try to meeting Carla meeting. I'm so happy to try to meeting. Thank you.
Can you tell me, because I don't think you've ever told me, what type of work do you do, Dom?
Can you repeat the question?
What kind of work? What do you do for a job?
Yes. Okay. Thank you. I am an electronic engineer. So I repair the mainboard for the thermistor. I control the control connection in the internet, the signal via internet for people watch the TV. I sometimes I go to the small chip for the different city in my country. Yes.
How are you feeling about your English now? You've been doing it more and more every day. Do you feel it has improved?
Yes. When I have more time for practice English, I feel I come for comfort, confident. I'm confident, and I learn more new words, and I practice with a lot of people with a lot of action. Action. Yes.
Can you say that again? I'm not sure what you were saying.
When I practice English more, I confident. I feel confident to speak English with each other, and I and I feel and I easy to learn the new words for English.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Huang,
Yes.
would you like to say hi to him, and then we're going to move on to someone else?
Yes. Hello, Dam.
Hello, Miss Hương.
Yes, so I'm so proud of you. When with the first day you joined this show and the first day I met you, and now
Yes.
just a couple of weeks, but I can see, I can observe big achievement and improvement from you when speaking English and expressing yourself, your ideas very clearly. Yes, so you feel more comfortable, more confident, right? When
Yes.
speaking with different people from different countries and different cultures, you will
Yes.
get familiar with different accents because they are from different countries, they are speaking with different mother tongues. So that's why, yeah, you're
Yes.
right. And that's very good. So please tell us, so uh, who did you meet in the meeting today?
Can you repeat the answer?
Who did you
question?
meet? You told us, you talk with people, right? So who did you talk before joining this meeting?
Who did you talk?
Yeah, Bita from Indonesia.
Yes,
Bita
yes.
boy, right?
Okay. And today I talk with the Dimas in the Indonesia, and when I joined the Hương meeting, I make a friend with the Dimas. He is a very funny and a good guy. He helped me to improve my English for grammar, and sometimes he's call the video with me, and he's invite the teacher English American who is Dan. His name is Danny Mark, and I speak English with him every day. Yes.
Wow, that's amazing, right? So
Yes.
that's a very good opportunity to make friends with
Yes.
different country, international friends. Yeah, I'm happy for you as well. Yes.
Yes.
Do
Thank
you feel
you.
happy?
Yes, I'm very happy. Yes. So that's a reason when the time Vietnam is 11:40 p.m. So I'm don't sleep. I don't sleep. I'm excited to join a meeting. I want to conversation with everyone. Yes.
Excuse me, there are people here who do not have their cameras on. I don't know if you're a man or a woman, but we will remove you unless we know that you're a woman and you do not have your camera on. And Shabazz, I need you to take care of this now. Find out if they're a woman or man. There's about 6 people here who need to get their cameras on now, or they will be removed. Please take care of that. This is totally inappropriate. Dom, you're doing very well, and I'm very, very proud of you. But we need to move on to other people because there are people waiting to speak now, and we have a pretty big group. However, we can't see them because their cameras are not on. And what they need to put on is their profile shot, or we will remove them. And Shabazz, I need you to take care of that, please. Thank you. So Dom, thank you. You did very, very well today.
Yes.
I'm very, very proud of you.
Thank you a lot, Carla. Thank you so much, Carla. Yeah.
You are so welcome. Ella, I can't pronounce your name. You're going to have to tell me your name and who you are and introduce yourself, please.
Hi. I'm assuming you're talking to me, I think.
I cannot pronounce your name. Yes, I am talking to you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Carla. Hi, everyone. Firstly, I'm so nervous, but I'm psyched to be here. My name is Ila Safura Mustafa, but I go by Ella for short.
Whoa. Stop for a moment. Say it a little slower because I have no idea what you're saying. I'm
sorry about that. I go again.
Say your name. Just say your name slowly and let me pronounce it after you. Because I have no idea what your name is or how to pronounce it.
All right. My name is Ila Safura
Mustafa. Whoa. Stop. Ila Safura?
Correct.
Is that your first name or your last name?
That is my middle name.
What do
because I have.
Wait a minute. What do your friends call you?
My friends call me Ella.
Okay. Can we call you Ella?
Yes. I go by Ella for short.
And what is your Facebook name?
Ila Safura Mustafa.
Okay, I get it. I know why you have it there now. Do you mind being called Ella?
No, not at all. If it's easy for everyone.
Okay. Now, I would rather call you Ella. I would never remember Ila Safura. Maybe I would. I don't know, but I think I'd really screw it up 90% of the time.
All right. You pronounce it correctly.
Now tell me, where do you live?
I live in Turkey, but I'm actually originally from Malaysia.
Okay. Where did you find the show?
Well, I was always searching for English-speaking groups on Facebook, and that's how I found this group.
So you just found it by searching on Facebook?
Correct.
And that's great. Have you watched the show at all, or is this the first time you're coming?
This is the first time I'm coming. I am the new kid on the block.
That's okay. I know it's the first time, but have you watched the show?
Not fully, just probably a little bit, because I checked out the page. So that's just how it is.
That's fine. I just was curious.
Okay.
So what type of work do you do, Ella?
I'm a housewife. I moved to Turkey after I got married. My husband is Turkish. When I'm free, I volunteer to speak English with the girls in my community, because maybe for some reason that they're just not comfortable to speak with people of different gender or in a bigger group. My English is not the best, of course, granted, but I just want to try.
Quiet. Quiet right now. You just said something that will keep your English from being good at any time in the world. Anytime. If you don't think you can speak English, you cannot. Now, I am listening to you speak English, and every word I can understand. So if I can understand you, and I don't speak Turkish, I don't speak, where are you from originally?
Malaysia.
And I can understand every word. What is the problem? It's all in your mind.
Sometimes I'm just not confident enough, I guess.
Right. And how do you get confident to do this, Ella? How do you get confident?
By doing what I'm actually doing right now, speaking.
Right. So what is the problem?
Well,
what the problem is, because I don't get it.
My grammar is all over the place.
Whoa, stop. Grammar is for writing.
Okay.
Who cares about your darn grammar when you are speaking? Grammar is putting in the right periods and the commas and all of that junk. No one really cares. No one really cares what any of that is about. All you need to do is speak. Your English is beautiful.
Thank you.
It's not only beautiful, it's very, very, very easy to understand. I'm having no problems. What about you, Lee? Because you speak English as your native language, how do you see it?
Yeah, you speak beautifully. I mean,
Thank you.
just so you know, yeah, you speak really beautifully. I mean, yeah. You have, when it comes to grammar, we all make little grammar mistakes in any kind of a second language, and even native speakers, especially if you're from, I'm also from the same place actually as Carla, and our dialect also has a lot of like grammar mistakes in it. So that's that's normal. But it's good that you want to practice, and that it's wonderful that you're practicing with people in your community, who feel comfortable practicing with you. That's really wonderful. That's great that you're doing that for them.
Thank you. I'm happy to do that for them.
And that's what is important. But if you're telling yourself and this goes for everyone here, on camera, off of camera, or whatever. If you tell yourself that you cannot do it, you're absolutely right, you cannot. We can do anything we possibly want to do in the world. I love the quote from Walt Disney. If you believe you can do it, you can achieve it. Now, I may have changed the quote around, but it's your belief in yourself that keeps you from doing things. And if you tell yourself you can't do it, or if you tell other people you cannot do it, you're right. It's what you tell yourself that keeps you from doing things. And that goes for everyone in the world, not just you, but everyone. Now, I'm talking this to you right now, but everyone in this room, whether they've come back many times, like Dom, or if it's their first time, this makes sense. People are afraid to try to do something new. Think if you were a baby and you wanted to walk and you told yourself, I cannot walk, do you think you would walk? Yes or no? I want to hear you talk.
No, no,
Why would you not walk?
because you tell it to yourself, right? So you will not be able to walk. You convinced yourself.
Right. And once you convince yourself that you cannot do something, you can't do it. Excuse me for one moment. Efra, Siam, Oiko, if you don't put a light on your face and we cannot see you, I will be removing you. I'm not put the light on your face. Yes? Back to you. So what do you need to begin telling yourself, Ella?
I can do it. I can speak. I have the confidence.
Right. It's just a matter of that. Now tell me something about you. Tell me about do you have a family? I know you're married, but do you have a family?
Right. My whole family, my parents, my siblings, they're all in Malaysia. I'm the only one here. I have a son. He is 6 years old. He's in school now. Yeah, that's pretty much about my family. Yeah.
Do you live
I've been living here.
Go on.
I've been living here in Turkey since late 2013. It's like 8 years now, but sadly, my Turkish is still like imperfect. But
you didn't say that. What did
Yeah.
I just say to you about English?
I haven't finished my sentence.
No. What did I just tell you about English?
That I have to have the confidence to speak it.
Right. So when you come to me about Turkish, my Turkish isn't good enough. What are you doing to yourself?
I'm again trying to tell myself that it's not good, and therefore I will lose my confidence to speak in
Are
Turkish.
you trying or are you doing that?
Trying? What do you mean trying?
Are you trying or are you doing? Let's do something very quickly. Try. No, you need to listen to me right now because I'm going to have you do something. I want you to try to put your hand on your head.
Okay.
Okay, I want you to try to take your hand off your head. Try to put your hand on your head again. Try to take it off of your head. Try to put it on again. Try to take it off. Did you do it or did you try?
I did it. I
That-
see what you're doing.
I just want you to answer the question right now. How did it feel to do it?
Feels good.
Right. Were you able to do it or did you try to do it?
I certainly able to do it.
Right. When your son began to walk, did he try to stand up or did he stand up?
He stood up.
Did it take a few attempts to stand up or did he just stand up right away easily?
He tried a few times.
No, but that's not what I asked. Did he try or did he work at it?
He worked at it. He just stood up.
He just stood up the first time?
He worked at it. He tried, right? No, am I answering
No,
correctly?
take out the word try.
Okay. He worked at it.
Have you ever asked your son to do something and he couldn't do it, but did he do it partially? Let's say you asked him to move the bed and he could only move it an inch. Did he try or did he do it?
He did it.
Right. Maybe he couldn't move it more than an inch, but he did it.
Correct. He did it.
It's the same with everything you do in the world. You do it or you don't do it. And Efren, you are a man, you need to put your camera on. We will not have you here if you do not put your camera on. Okay, back to you. And you may not speak now. Excuse me, remove him, please. He may not speak.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
He may not be here. I don't know where you are, Shabazz, today, but I expect you. I'm removing him. He's not doing what he has been asked to do. Do you understand what I'm saying now about trying and doing?
I understand you, Carla. Thank you.
Is it helping you to?
Yes, definitely. It's all about confidence and just do it, give it a go.
It's not only confidence. It's just the fact that this is how we learn. We all make mistakes and we all have problems. We all think, oh, I made a mistake, I can't do it. But it's our mistakes that allow us to learn to do it. And the reason I talked about the baby learning to stand, that's the beginning of learning. That's the beginning of doing. You can only do, you can't try. You can only do. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it makes sense to me.
So when you go and you're speaking in Turkish, are you doing or are you trying?
I'm doing.
Right. when you go to the store and you want to buy, let's say, mangoes, I don't know if you have mangoes there or not, but you want to buy mangoes. And you ask for a mango, but maybe you asked for an apple because you didn't know the word for a mango. Are you trying or are you doing?
I'm just doing it.
Right. And does it matter if you make a mistake?
No.
Okay. So how do you feel now?
Feel good, feel great, clearer.
Okay. But I want you to carry it out of here. It's not only done here, but it's done every day with everything you do. Let's think maybe you've never scrubbed the toilet and you go to do it the first time. Do you think you're going to do it perfectly the first time?
No, I don't think so.
Right. But are you going to never scrub the toilet again because you didn't do it perfectly the first time?
No, I will do it even more, I think.
Right. So what did you learn from all this?
Just take the opportunity and go ahead and do it.
Right. Look at life as an opportunity. Earlier, and I'm going to go back to Lee on this, he said, I want to ask everyone what I should do with my life. Do you think I can tell him what he should do with his life? Yes or no?
No, I don't think so.
Why?
Because in my opinion, the best person to know what he or she's going to do with his life is the person, him or herself.
Right. So Lee,
Yes.
back to that question.
Yes.
What do you want to do with your life?
Well, that's always the hard question. You know, there was once a guy who went to see a rabbi, and he said to him, "What's the secret to free will?" And so the rabbi sat there and he thought and he thought and he thought and he thought, and finally he opened his eyes and he said, "The secret to free will is if you want to do it, do it. And if you don't want to do it, don't do it." And the guy was like, "I traveled thousands of miles to see you, and that's the best you can do. That's it." And he says, "Well, there is one more thing." And he says, "What's that?" He says, "You have to know what it is you really want to do." And that's always the challenge, you know. In my case, it's I know what I don't want to do. I know what I don't want to do because I did the same thing for 30 years, whatever, and I don't want to do that. But then deciding what I do want to do is more difficult because I'm used to kind of thinking in I've sort of thought in a certain way for so many years that it's hard to think outside that box. So I'm busy. So I'm looking around. Is I think kind of the way it works now is kind of looking at possibilities and looking and seeing what kinds of things are out there in the world, and finding out exactly what my skills are, if I have some, I guess, and where they can be best be put to use, and that's what I'm doing.
Okay, let's take it a step further. You're asking outside for someone to tell you what you want to do.
Oh, no, I'm actually, no, not at all. I mean, obviously nobody can answer that for you. Nobody can tell you what you want to do. What they can offer is ideas in terms of, I know that one of the things that I have is, we're limited by our own experiences, right? And if you have people who have other experiences, You know, they live in other countries. They live in other countries. They speak other languages. They have different ways of thinking. And so maybe they have ideas that I don't have.
But
And
Lee, they may have ideas, but they don't know you. I could say, hey, Lee, I think you should come to the English show and teach that with me every day, and you'll be extremely happy.
well, that's an idea. So that's an idea. I mean, obviously, eventually, you have to, eventually you have to kind of weigh that in your mind, and is it something you really want to do? But it's always good to have, the expression, old English expression, grist for the mill, meaning to have things to help you think things out. It's good to think about different options and possibilities. But obviously, at the end of the day, they have to decide whether or not those are going to be satisfying and appropriate, and then experiment, right? Because maybe we don't. Honestly, the truth is, people. I don't know anybody who knows what they want to do with their life, automatically, with one exception. I have a friend who wanted to be an accountant from the time he was 6 years old. At 6 years old, he wanted to be. His father was an accountant. He wanted to be an accountant. He is an accountant, and he loves it. And there are people like that. Okay, but for the rest of us,
No, Lee, you're limiting yourself.
why?
I happen to know that you meditate, that you pray all the time, but you're closing your own self right now. You're
Why?
not listening to what's making you happy. And it's what makes you happy is what's going to help you grow.
Baruch Hashem, a lot of things make me happy. Baruch Hashem is Jewish for Alhamdulillah, or thank God. Yeah, there are lots of things that make me happy. So as to which of those things I should do, that's
Lee, this is very interesting. I just saw a message from someone who said Zoom link. We have said this. We have it written in the chat. You find the Zoom link by going to the Giggle Fest University link that I have down there, and it's written for everyone to see. I'm using this as an example for you. We all have, and I'm not anyone special here, except that I may offer you Rayhan's new coaching program when we have that together. But we all have those signs that make us happy. And those are the signs that we need to use in order to get where we want to be. So having said that, Lee, what is it that you do that makes you happy? One thing that you're given this to do, how does that make you feel? And you're just ecstatic.
Ecstatic. I'm not sure. I mean, ecstatic, but close to ecstatic. I enjoy teaching. For those of you people who don't know me, I teach religious studies. That's my thing. Is I teach religious studies, and I enjoy teaching adults a lot. I enjoy teaching adults. And in a more kind of informal way. I mean, it's nice not to be in a classroom. I prefer other, less formal places of teaching and things like that. So I'm still, yeah, I still love teaching, but I like teaching a different demographic. I like to teach, adults, young adults, old adults. Now I'm teaching old adults, which is actually kind of interesting. That's like a little bit of a challenge. And yeah, I think that's what I like to do best. Finding a way to get paid for that is a little bit of a challenge. Religious studies is not exactly a high capital profession exactly, but I'm doing my best at it.
Okay. Now that you know that, why can you just limited your experience? Because you said I cannot, I'm not making what I want to make. Why can't you do that? Or maybe we should take this offline.
Yeah, well, we can talk about it, but we can talk about, no, I'm not complaining about what I'm making or not making. I'm not so much worried about that. Thank God always takes care of me.
Right. And if you know
I
that,
haven't starved yet. so I haven't, he takes very good care of me and provides me with all the things I need. So I don't.
Lee, I'm going to stop it because we need to go to other people. Lee, if you know that, look at what makes you happy when you're doing it and use that to bounce off to other things. If you're not worried about finances, which I'm impressed with that you're not worried. You have a whole world ahead of you. And you can do whatever you want, not what I tell you to do or Hoang tells you to do, but what Lee Weissman feels within he can do.
Well, part of it is also, I don't want to get too religious on you, but part of it is also, I don't worry too much about the.
Lee, let's do this later because there's other people.
Okay.
But do you get my point?
Yes.
And we can definitely talk later because I really do want to talk to you about this.
Happily.
Okay, Ella, are you finished speaking for the moment?
I'm done. Yeah, sorry. I have my son coming in every now and then, so I'm sorry about that.
But no, why are you sorry? Is your son doing, wait, your son's job is to come and bug you. Whether you like it or not, that's his job. Why are you sorry for it?
He can be a little bit loud that I just cannot hear what you're saying. That's all.
Right.
There he goes.
Do you need to be sorry about it or do you need to accept it for what it is?
I accept it, but sometimes it's just a little bit inappropriate. I don't know if you can hear him right now.
No, I have a question for you. I can hear you perfectly. Who is perfect? Is anyone perfect?
No. How about Mustafa?
So why are you upset that you're not perfect? It's perfectly okay to be not perfect.
All right.
Think of what you're telling yourself. Lee's thinking what he's telling himself. I'm thinking that I'm not good enough too at times. It's okay. Stop thinking you need to be perfect. No one needs to be perfect at all. And that includes me. It includes Lee. It includes Hoang. It includes everyone on camera right now. and everyone off of camera. It's everyone in the world. We cannot be perfect, but you can be the perfect Ella. You can be the perfect Lee. And he is. He's the perfect Lee Weissman that he can be. Huang is the perfect Huang she can be. Dom is the perfect Dom that he can be. Tayab is the perfect Tayab. And there's a woman who I know wants to talk to me, and I want to make sure I get to her. It's just being the perfect you. That's all you can be. But you can't be the perfect Huang. You can't be the perfect Carla. You can't be the perfect Lee, because you're not them. You are the perfect Ella. And your son, you should know, your son can come to the kids show on Sundays, same time. And you can come with him the first time in order to get to be a part of it.
Thank you. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, same time as this show, but it's for the kids and only.
Right.
Okay. There's a woman, Sonia Khan, who I want to ask to open up her mic so I can talk to her for a few moments.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi. I wish you'd put on your camera. Are you allowed to do that?
No, I belong to a Muslim family and my father doesn't allow me.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
That's not a problem. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. My name is Sania Murtaza and I belong to Pakistan. And recently I am living in the capital city of Pakistan, that is Islamabad.
And what do you do in Islamabad, Sonia?
I have recently done my graduation and I'm trying to apply for my master's program in UK. So that's why I'm preparing for my IELTS exams.
And what are you going to be studying in the
I have studied clinical psychology in my graduation, and I am looking forward to continue with my same field.
Wonderful. So do you want to be a clinical psychologist?
Yeah, I want to be a clinical psychologist in future.
Can I ask you a question? Are you over 20 years old? You don't have to tell us your age.
No, I'm totally fine with that. I'm 23 years old.
Okay, so this is the show for you. So is your dad going to let you go to the UK to study?
Yeah, my elder brother lives over there. He lives over there with his family, and so my father only allows me to go to UK and not to any other country.
Okay. So when are you going to be taking your IELTS exam?
I'm planning to book it on in February, in the first week of February.
Your English is beautiful. Wouldn't you agree, Lee?
Yes, for sure. Beautiful.
What would you like to say to her about her English?
No, you speak really beautifully and really nicely, and it'll serve you in good stead if you're going to be studying in the UK. You'll be able to study and learn, and I'm sure grow a lot. And clinical psychology is a great topic. I mean, it's a wonderful profession, and I'm sure you'll help a lot of people.
Uh, uh, Inshallah, I will. I'm looking forward to help people a lot. But when I speak to myself alone, my English is like much better. But whenever I talk to someone or whenever I have once appeared in an IELTS exam and the criteria was 6.5 and I got 6 2 years back. But the thing is that you cannot see me now, but still I'm really feeling like hot at this time. My cheeks have become red and my hands are shivering. So
Okay.
this is the problem that I face all the time.
And that's why you need to come here and speak more often. The more you speak, the better. I really wish you could put your camera on. I could work with you privately about that, and that would help, but I can't do it for free.
But I'll tell you something. Many years ago, I used to be very afraid of talking to groups of people. In fact, I remember when years ago, maybe 30 years ago, as a graduate student, and I had to give a presentation, and there were 4 people in the classroom, 4 people in the classroom. And I was so scared that I was shaking, and I had to hold a pen in my hand tight to keep myself from shaking too hard. And I couldn't hold the paper because like the paper would make noise. I was shaking so badly, and my voice was shaking and everything else. And now I have exactly the opposite problem. I have no problem talking in front of a lot of people. And sometimes I worry about that because I feel like I should be a little bit more, I should be a little bit more nervous. So I'm more careful about what I say and how I say it. But a lot of time there's nothing wrong with being scared of an experience that you don't have a lot of practice in
Right.
yet. And once you grow and you develop it and you get used to it, you'll start to feel more comfortable and more confident. But there's nothing wrong with feeling blushing a little bit, nothing wrong with that. Shaking a little bit, also nothing wrong with that. That's part of life. But that you're overcoming your fear, right? And still doing it, even though there's a little bit of fear, even though you're blushing, even though, you're shaking a little bit, that you're doing it. That's very impressive. And you should be very proud of yourself.
Thank you, sir.
Sonia, I do want to make a recommendation. Your English is beautiful, but you need to, oh my gosh, you need to slow down.
Okay, ma'am.
I really suggest you do it, especially come back here and I want to speak with you again. But come back here and speak more often. And I will remind you to speak slower because
Okay,
that
ma'am.
will calm you down. You need to learn to breathe when you are speaking. And you also need to learn to listen better. We all need to learn to listen better. And that means you do not talk when the other person is talking. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, ma'am, totally.
You sound a lot calmer when you are speaking slower. It will also calm you down. I know you were nervous talking in the beginning. We all are. But when we slow down and we breathe as we are talking, our talking becomes a lot easier to understand. Does that help you at all?
Yes, ma'am. I just took a deep breath and I feel much relaxed than earlier.
And also smile when you are talking. The more you smile, the more calmer you're going to be. And there's scientific evidence to prove what I just told you. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't call me ma'am, call me Carla, please.
Okay, Carla.
Good, thank you. Okay, how do you feel now, Sonia?
I feel much relaxed than earlier.
Speak to your father and ask him. You could even come in using hijab, where we only see your eyes. But I think it'll help you if you could turn on your camera.
Ma'am, actually, I heard about you from my friend 3 to 4 months earlier, and I talked to my father about your program, but he said he didn't allow me to come. I asked him that I would wear a niqab and come in front of you. Because I thought that you won't allow me if I wouldn't turn on my video. So I just quit coming here. But yesterday I was talking to that friend, and he told me that you now allow females to come here without turning on their video if they have any kind of restrictions. So that's the reason I'm here today.
I have always done that, son, for the ladies. That's nothing new. That's why I asked that question, actually. If you are a lady, you can come without your camera. I know it's a problem. But if you want me to talk to your dad about it, I would be willing to do it because I think it'll help your confidence.
I will try to talk to my dad once more and try to convince him.
Let me talk to him. See
He
if
doesn't.
he'll talk to me and send me a message.
Okay. He doesn't understand English. He isn't educated. He only understands Urdu.
Let me speak with him with you there. Okay?
Okay.
And if he wants, he will allow you. Send me a message in on the Speak English Foundation page. I promise you I will look for it.
Okay, ma'am. Is it a page on which we are live now? Or
Yeah,
is it
the Speak English Foundation page on Facebook.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. And don't call me ma'am. That's my
Oh, sorry.
Actually, I'm old.
Actually, I'm not used to it, and I'm panicking right now. So I just get things like out of my mind. So just give me a chance for 1 and 2 video lectures, and I would get used to it. Calling you Carla.
Okay, I understand. I know what it's about. But do me a favor, talk to your dad, and if he wants to speak to me with you there, it may help. We'll see if we can do that together.
Okay, ma'am.
Because it'll take away your fear.
Okay, ma'am. Firstly, I will try to convince him tomorrow. And if he didn't agree, then I would make sure you talk to him.
No, make sure I talk to him.
Okay.
Do what I'm saying. There's a reason why I'm doing that. But you need to send me the message on the Speak English Foundation page, because I won't be sure to see it anywhere else. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, we're really over time. I only have a few minutes and I want to say hello to Tayab. I may ask Huang to do it. Huang, we need to be off in 5 minutes. Okay. How are you, Tayab? Can you please introduce yourself? Tayab, you need to open up your mic. We cannot hear you. No, Tayab, I'm sorry. Can you come back next week, next Tuesday, Monday, and we'll talk to you then? We can't hear you at all. Everyone's shaking their head. Can you hear him, Lee?
Nope.
Ella?
No.
Dom?
No.
Okay. Come back next week, Tayab, because I really need to close. I want to thank those who came and spoke to me. We are really over time right now, and I have a meeting in half an hour. So I need to close the show. I want to thank everyone. This was really a really good show. Did you guys have fun who are on camera? I hope Lee isn't angry at me. Okay. I'll be back on Sunday for the kids at 9 p.m. Remember, if you are 20 years old and younger, you can come. But if you're older, like Lee, you can't come unless I invite you. And I couldn't invite Lee to come and tell stories. But that's a special invitation. And I do always like having one older person with me. And back on Monday for all of you guys that speak in English. I hope you had a good time. I'm hoping everyone here had a good time and you learned something today. And with that, we're going to wave goodbye and see you on another show. Have a good day. You can unmute and
to you. Bye.
okay.
Goodbye, Carla. Goodbye, everyone.